Believe it or not, buying a home is not for everyone. Instead, I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3 reasons why buying a home may not be the best decision for you. Let's go. All right, so this may come as a shocker, but buying a home is just not in the cards for everybody. It's just not, point blank. And so this idea of this video kind of came because I was working with a client who had been searching for about a year, on and off, whether or not they should or should not buy. They had a lot of familiar changes, just family dynamics that were shifting, and it kind of took them a while to kind of decide if it was the right time for them to buy. And after I said the 12 months of searching, they finally came to the decision that that time, 12 months later, was actually the best time to buy. So that kind of made me think about, like, there are some times that just buying a home is not in the cards for you. You got to be okay with it. So I really wanted to give you 3 reasons why it may not be a good decision to buy. And here's the 3. So the first reason why you should not buy is pressure from society. This is probably the worst reason to buy. Pressure from society may look different depending on where you are in your life, depending on what stage you are. So let me give you a couple examples. One, let's just say that you're a recent college grad, right? You just finished school, and now you got your big job. Now you're making your big money, or at least something like that, close to big money. And now you're in the workforce, and now you may feel some sort of pressure to do what everyone else is doing. So your parents probably are saying, hey, now that you got your job, it's time for you to buy. Maybe your coworkers are saying, like, look, you're making money now, stop renting and just start buying. And that's real. We got to be honest. Like, those types of thoughts, those types of comments from family and friends do occur. And if you find yourself in that position, do not buy with that type of pressure. Do not buy based on society telling you that you should, based on you accomplishing certain things. Let buying be a commitment that you want to start, you want to commit to, because at the end of the day, purchasing a home is a huge financial commitment. And before you decide to go that route or go down that path, you want to make sure that you really thought about what are the costs associated with buying a house. What are the things I need to be prepared for? I got to now take on this mortgage long term. I have to pay this monthly amount. Yes, it's not a big amount because you are going to buy based on your needs, but still there's a commitment there. And you want to make sure before you commit that you've really kind of thought about whether or not you're ready and not that society is pushing you in that corner. Or maybe, another example is maybe you're a newlywed, and the first thing newlyweds do as soon as they tie the bow is buy a home. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're in a position where you just got married and now everybody, the Mr. and Mrs. Joneses are saying, hey, look, now you need to also buy. Do not buy with that type of pressure. Maybe you and your spouse just got married, and maybe you want to, travel a little bit, or maybe you want to just not have the pressure of being committed to one particular home for a certain period of time. And that's completely fine. Do not allow society to put any type of pressure on you to purchase a home. That's the first one. Society pressure from society. Do not buy under that type of pressure. So the second reason why buying a home may not be the best decision for you is if you have not done your research. Now, I know when I say research, all of us have automatically thought of Google, and that's a great place to start. But research, when I'm talking about research, I'm talking about a lot of the bigger things, the holistically, what does that mean for buying a house when I say research? Well, one, I would say you want to start off with doing research on the price versus rent ratio. Well, what does that really even mean, rent versus price ratio? Let's say you're in a community and the mortgages in your area for a 30-year fixed loan is, let's say it's $2,000 a month, right? Let's say it's $2,000 a month. And then the same exact community to rent for the same exact home, what let's say costs you $700 a month. In that example, I would probably not buy. There's basically no reason to. The mortgages in that particular area are too high and rents are significantly lower. Like, that's a perfect example where you just don't need to buy. You just can continue renting, save some money, and you'll have a lot more flexibility to move or whatever. So the market that I actually work in and live in, North Virginia, D.C., Maryland market, mortgages are actually that high, $2,000 a month. And the problem with this particular market, it's not really a problem, but the problem, I guess, is that rents also in the same exact area are the same price as mortgages. So in that scenario, you probably should buy just because it's just so close. But if you live in an area where the rents are significantly lower than a mortgage, I probably would not buy. So that's one of the research you need to do. Make sure you've done that. 2, research the schools. You've heard the old saying, real estate is location, location, location. And that is 100% true. And one of the biggest factors in location is schools. Because yes, I know schools are not important to you right now. You may not have kids, you may not plan on having kids. But someone that is going to be buying your home in the future may have kids, and schools may be a big factor. So whenever you have a home that's in a very attractive school tract, it becomes very, very competitive. So I would say when you're buying, if you can snag a great property or a great investment in a highly sought after school district, it is a great, great investment. So I would say definitely do your research on the school. The third one is researching your real estate team. You start with your real estate professional, who your agent is going to be. Research them. How long have they been in the business? Have they sold where you're looking to buy? Who's your loan officer? Who's your, those are things that you want to make sure you research well in advance. You do not want to have to pick someone random when you actually want to buy. Pick them early, establish rapport with them, establish a real relationship with them, because you're going to need them in the long run. And that's another research you got to do. Fourth, I'll research the market, like the actual market, like know where you're buying, know the area, know the commute, know the trends. And those are just things that I would say if you haven't done your research, it's probably an indication that you're not ready to buy, and it's okay. But do not buy just because you want to buy. Make sure that before you do so, before you commit to this long-term commitment of a mortgage, that you've done your research. The third reason why buying a home may not be the best decision for you is if you have not planned it out. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, so this is a book that was given to me by my mentor. I'll put a link in the description below. But the title of the book is called Living Forward by Michael Hyatt and Daniel Harkavy. And it says, a proven plan to stop drifting and get what you want out of life. So this is a really good book. Talks about the importance of planning your life out and what you want your life to look like in 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years in advance. And it really takes you through this exercise of writing things down. And I think that when you think about buying a home, I think you need to have the same type of due diligence. Like, write down, what is your family dynamic going to look like in a couple of years? What do you want your payment to be? How much money do you plan on saving? What is your plans for moving in or out of the area within the next couple of years? What do you want your expenses to be monthly? These are all just questions that I think before you buy a home, you really need to consider. You really need to sit down and think about what do you want your plan to look like long term. Buying a home is very sexy and it's very attractive because of HGTV. Thank you so much, HGTV. But when it comes down to being committed to a mortgage or a loan, being committed to a home, an area, I think that you want to make sure you know exactly what does your plan look like for you. That way, things change in your life and things arise, and if those things do not, if those things are not a part of the plan, how do you adjust? How do you shift? Or how do you stick to the plan? Like, whatever that looks like for you, I think you want to first start off with a plan. That way you know exactly what you expect out of the process. So those are just 3 reasons why I think that if you fall into one of those 3 categories, it's probably not the best decision for you to buy. And don't feel the pressure of buying. Do not feel the pressure of buying a home. Make sure you do your research, and last, make sure that you come up with a plan. So if you found this video helpful, please click the like button. Feel free to share this with anyone that you know that may be buying or selling and just want some expertise about the process. And then also please stay subscribed, because I'll be dropping more videos with content just like this in the future. And I will talk to you guys soon. All right, take care.